A jury is a key part of our judicial system. It provides an impartial viewpoint on a case, and jury service is a civic duty and considered an honored privilege. But often it is a service we don't know all that much about. In today's Injuries Are Personal with Reynolds Law, attorney Carl Reynolds joins us via Skype to disclose what you aren't allowed to know as a juror, but you wish you did. Really? Suddenly I feel like you lawyers and the judge has a distinct advantage over me as a citizen juror.
Well, sure, we know all the facts. The judge decides, he interprets the law and figures out what facts and which evidence is relevant to the decision that the jury's to consider. But oftentimes, amongst those facts and evidence that potentially could be put in front of a jury, there's a funnel and there's only a small amount that the jury's actually allowed to consider. And oftentimes what I find is when I question a jury as we prepare to select a jury and have the jury members decide the case, they have a lot of questions. They want to know a lot of information. And unfortunately, a lot of their questions are going to remain unanswered through the trial because the law has been written to exclude certain facts and certain evidence that juries may feel are quite relevant.
Okay, let's talk about specifically some of these things. A non-joinder statute, what does that mean?
What that means is we have powerful lobbyists in our state, and insurance companies are among the most powerful, and they've lobbied to have a statute passed that says in a lawsuit where an operator of a motor vehicle crashes into the other, the evidence regarding how much insurance is available, what insurance company is involved, is not allowed to be presented to the jury. All the jury knows is that Citizen A crashed into Citizen B, and Citizen B is claiming injuries against Citizen A, and the jury's to decide how much. But they'll never know who the insurance company is for Citizen A or how much insurance is available. I would like the juries to know that if they see me in the courtroom, 100 times out of 100, there's insurance available. I'm not allowed to tell you that to the jury,
right.
But the truth is, it's not going to be poor little Citizen A that's going to foot this bill
right.
For it. It's really their insurance company, and that's true in 99.9% of these cases.
And I would like to know that as a juror, because if there is a large policy and, poor Citizen A is really suffering, then pay up, right?
Right, and oftentimes by the time they make it to trial, if it doesn't resolve before then, we're usually dealing with a substantial or robust policy, at least in my case. So again, if you see me in the courtroom, be rest assured there's insurance and it's a robust policy.
Okay.
You're also not allowed to know about any settlement negotiations that occurred up till then. And
okay. You don't know what they've already said no to.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Very interesting. These are things I would want to know, that's for sure. Talk about police report privilege, because I would think I get to know a lot about what's in that report.
So because that's based on hearsay, whether a citation was issued, what the police decided, the diagram of how they figured out how the accident occurred, all not allowed to be presented to the jury. Most juries would like to know, well, who got cited, especially if there's some claim that both parties had green lights or red lights. All they're allowed to hear is evidence from any witnesses, but oftentimes there are no witnesses, and so it becomes a he said, she said type of situation. And unfortunately, the police, even though they're allowed to interview and provide circumstantial evidence as to who violated the traffic light, because they didn't actually witness it, that information is never presented to a jury. Citations never presented to a jury. Whether that person pled guilty and just paid the ticket or fought the ticket, none of that ever comes in front of a jury.
Which kind of bothers me, because the police, especially when they do accident reconstruction, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're experts. I mean, I would like to know what they could tell happened from this, that, and the other thing.
Well, so I don't mean to overstate it. They can't talk about citation or who violated a particular moving statute, driving statute, but they can testify to what they observed once they arrived on scene.
Okay, good.
And the positioning of the vehicles, and if they have the requisite education, training, experience, they could also go based on skid marks, length, and can give you an approximate speed, that sort of thing. So they can help with some things. They're just not going to be able to tell you hey, so-and-so was texting and driving or blew a red light, and
Right.
I cited them.
And they were cited. All right. Interesting.
Right.
This look inside the courtroom, very fun, because a lot of us, obviously don't understand all these nuts and bolts. And Carl's obviously great at explaining that. For more information about any of your legal questions, you can go to injuriesarepersonal.com. We'll be right back.